Hey Blessed fam, it's your girl Bella. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm drinking a very watered down iced coffee because I've been filming videos and drinking this coffee. Well, I guess not drinking this coffee. And now it tastes horrible. But more importantly, today I'm going to be talking about my 2023 reading goals. So these goals are both related to my reading and my channel in general. Of course, I have 2023 goals that are, personal, business, blah, 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 finance, but I don't want to share those on here. I'm just going to share my goals that are specifically book related and channel related. And when the year ends and it's 2024, I want to reflect on these goals and see how did I do with them. So let's go ahead and get started. So my first goal for the year is to read 52 books. So last year was my first year really getting back into reading, and my goal for last year is 52 books because that's a book a week. I ended up reading 100 books last year, so I'm extremely confident that I will hit 52, and actually I feel like I'll probably hit at least 75. But I don't want to push myself too hard, especially given that last year is my first year actually getting back into reading, and because I have a lot of other goals this year. I want to explore some new hobbies, and sometimes I'm like, dang Isabella, maybe you should just sit down and watch a movie or watch a TV show and not read all the time. So I do want to hit 52 books again, but I didn't want to give myself a goal that was too high because I don't want to put pressure on myself. I want reading to always be something that is fun and escapism and enjoyable for me. My next goal is to read books that I actually like. I feel like last year I read a lot of duds. I think my average rating on Goodreads was 3.2 stars. So I do think I'm a pretty critical rater. I think I do try to think of all aspects of a book when I rate them. So I do have a low average rating score. I did have a lot of gems, but I had more duds than gems by far. It's been easy for me to talk about books that I disliked because a lot of books I read I either disliked or they were mid. But also last year I just got back into reading. So I think that now that I've gotten into reading, I'm more acquainted and I know what I like. It'll be easier for me to pick books that I actually want to read, books that I feel I'll enjoy reading, versus last year I was trying to see what my taste was. Historically I was a romance reader, and I've learned that I actually don't like romance as much as I thought I did. I really like contemporaries, I like historical fiction, I like thrillers, I like romance as well, but not as much as I thought I did before. And I really like reading from Nigerian authors, African authors, so I want to focus on reading books that I just want to read this year. My next goal is to catalog my reading. I started doing this when I first joined booktube, so maybe in October or so I started cataloging the name, the author, the genre, my star rating, page count, all those things. And I wish I would have done it the entire year, that way I could really break it down. I know on Goodreads they will tell you how many pages you read and the average page count, and on I think Storygraph they break it down more, but I think Storygraph isn't quite accurate because when I try to transfer my Goodreads onto Storygraph, it doesn't always transfer perfectly. It won't pick up all the books that I read. So I want to actually go on Excel or on Google Sheets, whatever, and actually catalog my books, every single book that I read. That way when the year's over I can say okay, I read this many fiction books, this many audiobooks, this many books are from the library, this many books were this or that. I want to be able to get a holistic view of what I read. So that's definitely one of my goals for 2023. My next goal is kind of weird, but it's to request less library books. So I love the library. I've been a library reader since I was in kindergarten, or maybe first grade, one of those grades, because my mom was getting her associates in nursing and she would always take us to the library. So she'd be studying and me and my brothers would go and find books to read. So that's how I originally started loving books, was because my mom would make us go to the library a lot when we were younger, and I've always been a library gal. But I have a issue where I request a ton of books from the library, and then all at once I'll have 10 books ready to be picked up, and usually there's a wait behind them, so I want to hurry up and read them. And I want to read them so that the people behind me can get the book also, but then I also don't want to have to request it because I didn't read it fast enough. So I'll have 10 books I need to read in 3 weeks, and then it's a lot of pressure. And also sometimes when I request books like that, by the time I get them I might not want to read them. So I just want to be more smart about how I request books this year, and I think if I'm more smart and strategic about it, I'll read more books that I want. So instead of just being okay, let me request a bunch of books, I want to be more smart about it. So most of the books that I have requested right now from the library are 2023 releases, which I think is smart for me because it's those books are coming out this year. And then the few others that I have requested that are not 2023 releases are books that I plan on reading this month. So I just want to be more smart about how I request library books because I think that will help me a lot in terms of reading books that I actually want to read. Another goal that I have for 2023 is to actually walk around my library more. So one of my favorite books of last year was Ties That Tether by Jane Caro, and I found that book just from walking around the library. Like, no one had talked about the book, it wasn't a popular book, I just found it walking around, and it was one of my favorite books of last year. So I want to like just go through the library and just walk around and pick up books rather than always requesting them. Another goal is to read more of the books that I actually own. So y'all, do y'all see how many books I own? It's just so crazy because at the beginning of last year I probably had like 20 books this time last year, and now I have like 2 shelves of books. Like, I have so many books now, and I love my shelves. I think they're gorgeous. Like, they're so pretty. Like, I love how my books look on my shelves. But I used to be someone who I would only buy books after I'd read them because I wanted to make sure I actually liked the book before I put it on my shelf. But I got into a bad habit of buying books before I read them just because I feel like I'm gonna love them. And there's nothing that I hate more than buying a book and hating it. And I do not want that to be my reality. So I want to read the books that I own. That way if I don't like them, I can get rid of them. Another goal is to complete a series. This is actually a big goal for me because I don't really read series. Like, when I was younger, I read lots of series. But now, I think the only series I finished within the past like year or two was To All the Boys I've Loved Before. That's just a 3-book romance series. Ate It Up, one of my favorite series of all time. Probably my favorite romance series, honestly. But I want to try to get more into series again. Series are kind of intimidating, to be honest, because it's like, wow, there are 6 books, there are 5 books, and I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I just want to finish like one series. If I finish one series this year in 2023, then that'll be really big for me. Another goal is to do some more secret TBRs and like secret reading vlogs. I have a lot of like really creative reading ideas and really creative book ideas that I want to film. I just need to do them. So that's kind of like more of a channel related goal, but I want to just film more secret TBRs, more rereads, more things of like childhood books, just more specified reading videos, because I think I only have one video like that, which is my reading overhyped romances video. And personally, I really love that video. Like, I rewatch it all the time. I think it's so good. You should watch it too. And yeah, I want to film more videos like that. I want to get into my fantasy era, y'all. I have never been a fantasy reader historically. Like, I did not read Harry Potter growing up. I think I read the very first book and I thought it was a banger, but then I never completed it. I don't know why. Like, even with Hunger Games, I read the first Hunger Games, thought it was a banger, then I did not continue. And I do that a lot of times, like with books that are like dystopian and fantasy. I know I like dystopian, but I don't know if I like fantasy. So I want to get in my fantasy era this year. I'm kind of scared. I'm probably going to start off with like YA or middle grade fantasy. I'm not going to start off with adult because I'm not a fantasy reader historically, and I heard that adult fantasy can be kind of like overwhelming even for people who read fantasy. So I want to get in my fantasy era this year. I also want to get into my short story era this year. I have convinced myself that I don't like short stories because in high school when I read short stories I didn't love them, and then also I'm just someone who like, I prefer a full-length novel because I want to see the like development throughout the book. But I want to see if maybe I might like short stories. Like, maybe I have told myself I don't like short stories and I might actually like them. So this year I want to get into my short story era. Be ready to see some short stories and some of my wrap-ups and in some videos. If you have any short story recommendations, leave them down below. I'm really scared, but I want to get in my short story era. Do not leave down below romance short stories because no. I want to read like short story collections, like a book of short stories by like maybe the same author or different authors. I want to get into that this year. My next goal is to read 2 self-development books a month. I personally like self-development books, which is, I think, contrary to at least a lot of people that I watch on YouTube. I don't really watch anybody who reads self-development even like a little bit. But I like self-development. I want to develop myself. So I want to read at least 2 self-development books each month, whether it's like psychology, finance, business, general self-development, no matter what it is. I just want to read at least 2 a month. My next goal is related to my upload schedule. So I want to upload twice a week, specifically on Sundays and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. is when I plan on uploading videos. Previously, or I was trying to upload 3 videos a week on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at 5 p.m. and that was just a lot of pressure for me for a couple of reasons. One, I edit my videos and the average video takes me like 3 hours to edit because I do a lot of edits. Editing takes me a lot of time. So if I film or if I upload 3 videos a week, that's 9 hours of editing. Not to mention I'm not a full-time YouTuber. Like, I have a full-time 9-to-5, currently doing like cybersecurity courses. I also film YouTube videos. I also have a life. I dog sit. I do a lot of stuff. So it's like 9 hours of editing a week is actually a lot of time for me to take out versus 6 hours. So I just want to do like 2 uploads a week. I've also noticed that when I try to do 3 uploads a week, two different things happen. One, I have a week where I'm perfect. I do 3 uploads, and then the next week I do 1 upload, or I do no uploads. So it makes me like more inconsistent because each week is so different for me because of all the things that I have to do, that sometimes it's just really hard to carve out time to edit 9 hours a week. And then also, if I do 3 videos a week, that's 12 videos a month. That is a lot of content, which is great for y'all, but that's hard for me because I have to like constantly think of content versus like 12 videos a week versus 8 videos. 12 videos a month versus 8 videos a month is a big difference. And I can do 12 a month, 3 a week, and then by month 3 I'm out of video ideas. And then also because it takes me so long to edit, that extra 3 hours I could have read a whole nother book, you know what I mean? So I think it'll be better for me to just do 2 uploads a week. It's less pressure, I can do better quality videos, and I can be more consistent with what I'm uploading. And then my last goal for 2023 that is YouTube, booktube, bookish related, is to be more active on my Instagram. So I do have a specific Instagram for my books and for reading. It is just _blessedbybella__. I do follow back. Do not be intimidated by my ratio. Some of y'all may or may not know I used to do nails. I used to be a nail artist. Don't worry about the clear coat. That is all that I'm wearing right now. But I used to do nails. So that was my former nail page, which is why the ratio is like very much ratioing. But I actually do follow back. Like if you have like book stuff, I'll definitely follow you back. Yeah, don't be intimidated. But I wanted to post more on my Instagram. Like I want to get into like reels and stuff like that and just be more of a poster on there. And I think that by only uploading twice a week, that'll help me to like use other platforms more, such as like reels, and maybe just transferring those same reels onto TikTok and things like that. So that's another goal that I have for 2023. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, they're linked down below. So yeah, those are my goals for 2023. I'm very excited about 2023. I have very, very high hopes. It's gonna be a really, really good reading year for me. Like, I'm just really excited. I'm really excited for 2023. So I look forward to looking back on this video at the end of the year or the beginning of next year and seeing how I do with these goals. I'm pretty confident that I will accomplish all of them. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below, what are some of your reading goals, content goals if you create content. Let me know down below. I will see you on my next video. Bye.